Hi everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. My name's Inga. I'm a content developer in Zeald, and I'll be moderating the webinar today. We understand what it takes to run a small business, so thank you for joining us this morning to learn more about lead magnets and how you can use them for your business. Lead magnets are a creative way to identify and engage with prospects who are most interested in what you have to offer them. You're able to give them something of value while also getting their contact information in return. So today you'll find out how to use lead magnets for your small business, whether you're service-based or product-based. Our speaker with us today is Hannah Metz. She's a marketing specialist at Zeald, and she has a passion for sharing value and education about digital marketing. In a moment, she'll walk you through how to use lead magnets to expand your small business online. A quick run through of how we'll run the webinar today. If you have any questions for us, you can send in a message in the chat mode or question mode in the panel on the right of your screen. You're also able to message me or Hannah privately, and we can also respond privately as well. And throughout the webinar, we do encourage you to send in any questions, thoughts, or comments throughout the session that you have. If you miss anything, if you have to run out early or you miss something while listening or your internet's acting up, we will be sending out a link to watch the replay after the session is ended, so you'll be able to catch up and watch the recording again at another time. We'll be having our Q&A session towards the end of the webinar, so be sure to bring all your questions. And just for a quick poll and to make sure that the chat's working for everybody, please tell us in the chat mode or question mode if you're currently using a lead magnet for your small business. We also have a special offer for attendees of the webinar. If you click this link, which should be made live now, so you should be seeing that on your screen, you can sign up for one of our free online strategy sessions with our digital business strategists. These sessions are really helpful because you can use the time to discuss anything about your business, for example, your website, your digital marketing strategy, SEO, Google Ads, or social media, and anything else that you might want to learn more about. So without further ado, here's Hannah to tell you how to create lead magnets for your small business.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's webinar. So as Inga said, just send us a really quick message into the chat just to let us know if you are currently using lead magnets, just so we can get an idea of where you're at when it comes to those. Great. And also, just as I'm going through the webinar, please send through your questions as you go. We will answer them at the end, but it's good to just send them through when they come up, so we can go through them at the end. Great. Okay, so let's get into lead magnets for your business. So what we will look at today is, first of all, what even is a lead magnet for anyone who might not be familiar, then also creating lead magnets, different ways to do that, and lastly, also promoting lead magnets as well. Okay, so for anyone who's not familiar with what a lead magnet is, basically it's any sort of content that you're providing to your potential customers for free. Usually it's free, sometimes it will be a very small fee. And in exchange, you get their contact details. So whether that's their email address or phone number, usually it's just their name and their email address. But yeah, so you provide something that is of high value for them for free or for very low cost. And in return, you get their contact details. So what should a lead magnet be? So like I said, it needs to be very high value for your target audience, which obviously is important. If it's high value but isn't relevant for your target audience, there's no point in putting that up anyway. You also want to build trust and credibility. Providing free value does so because you're showing your target audience that you know what you're talking about, and you're also willing to help them for free. It also needs to look nice, obviously, so it needs to be well designed, and it also needs to give information immediately. So like I said, the higher the value of this lead magnet, the better. Obviously, you don't want to give away information that you would otherwise share in a paid consultation, or with your product or service, whatever it may be, but you do want to provide a lot of value. And then also it needs to be instant. So whenever they give in their details and they fill out a form, they need to receive the email with the information immediately. There can't be a delay in between filling out the form and receiving what they asked for. Okay, so what is a lead magnet used for? So as I said before, sharing valuable information and building trust that way with your target audience. Again, this often can be a free resource, or it can be, for a small charge, but it definitely shouldn't be something that customers have to pay for a lot of money. And then also that way you want to attract your ideal customer who may be at the stage of consideration, or who may not even be aware of your product or service. And we'll have a look at the funnel, the marketing funnel, a little bit later on, and I'll show where, in what stages a lead magnet comes into play. Valerie's just saying no sound, no movement. Can everybody hear me okay? Could you just send a message into the chat if you can hear me? Inge, if you would just send a message into the chat quickly to let Valerie know to perhaps leave and rejoin the webinar, so she can perhaps solve the issue of the sound. Okay, Laura says she can hear me, so I'm hoping that it is just Valerie. So Inge, if you send a message in, please just let her know to rejoin and come back, and then hopefully that will resolve the issue. Great. So what are the benefits of a lead magnet? Again, you want to attract your ideal customer and engage with them in a meaningful way. And you want to also obviously gain their trust as well. You also want to familiarize your customer with your potential customer with you, and so having them enter into a nurturing funnel, which the lead magnet sits at the very beginning of. And we will actually talk about email marketing and bringing somebody through your email funnels a bit later on in our next webinar. So you should definitely stay tuned for that one as well. Now, obviously, you also want to gather their contact information and build an email subscriber list. Again, our next webinar will be all about that, so you should definitely join that one as well. And you also want to stand apart from your competitors by providing high value to your customers. Now, this is the marketing funnel that I just mentioned. In regards to lead magnets and lead nurturing, you can see that a lot of times people might not even be aware of your product or service when they come across your lead magnet. You might want to utilize a lead magnet in your ads that you're putting out on whichever platform that might be, because it might be a very low commitment rather than putting up an ad about your product or service, which would be a higher financial commitment. I'm seeing Valerie still having issues. I'm really sorry about that. Yeah, maybe the sound settings would be good to have a look at as well. So in regards to the marketing funnel, as you can see, there's many steps people have to go through to actually get to the end and make the decision to purchase from you. So the lead magnet comes in kind of in the two first stages. Either it's somebody who has no idea about your brand or product, they've never heard of you, they've never come across you, and they come across your lead magnet, and that's how they get familiar with your brand. And it's a very good first touch point to have, because it immediately establishes you as the expert and builds trust with that person, because you're giving them a lot of high value for free. Or alternatively, they might already be in the interstage where they know about you and they know about your brand and your product, but they might not be at the consideration stage yet where they want to or they're thinking about purchasing from you. So by providing a lead magnet and letting them enter your email funnel, you can move them down in the funnel, further down towards consideration and intent, by providing free value, having them get familiar with you and your brand, but also at the same time within your emails, you're nudging them towards your product as well. Now, here's a really quick preview of what we'll go through in our next webinar. I just wanted to show this very briefly. I'm not going to go through every single of the stages, but just to show you where within an email nurturing workflow, the lead magnet sits. So it's, as I said, somebody might come across an ad, whether that's Google ads or Facebook ads, or it's just an organic social media post that you're putting up. And that leads them to one of your lead magnets. And then once they've gotten a lead magnet, they enter your email funnel and we go from there. But again, we'll go through this in much more detail in our next webinar. So I just wanted to give you an example of one of our lead magnets. So we have an ebook, which is all around how to optimize your website. And this is a free ebook. It's very high value. It provides a lot of really great insights and tips. And all that people have to do is enter their contact details in return for this ebook. So it's very high value, but low commitment, which is what a lead magnet should be. A lot of times it's best not to ask for people's phone numbers at this stage, just because a phone number sometimes can feel a lot more personal than an email address. So that's just something to keep in mind. Don't ask for too much of their information at this stage. You can find that stuff out later within the next stages of the funnel. But in the very beginning of this stage, you do really want to keep that minimal. So maybe it's even just their first name and their email address. That sometimes can be even better. So you're not asking for too much information. And again, phone numbers can just feel a little bit too personal to some people sometimes. And that might be a reason that they don't sign up, even if they do want the free resource. We will actually be sharing this with you towards the end of the webinar. So if you did want to download your own copy, then you can do so by the end of the webinar. Now, we're going to have a look at creating content for lead magnets. So we'll look at creating lead magnets with video, audio, and visuals. We'll also look at lead magnets with text, and then some other formats of lead magnets that are available as well. So one of the options for video-based lead magnets are webinars. So you're obviously right now in one of our lead magnets, another one. We have our webinar sign up page there on the screen. So again, it's something that is high value, but low commitment in terms of the information that people have to hand over in return. But it is something that provides a lot of really great in-depth value, and it's free. So webinars are a great lead magnet if you do have the time for it. Obviously, it's a lot more time commitment for you and the attendees, but it is something that is a great lead magnet to do. Another thing you could do is an online workshop. So that would be a little bit more interactive, where you do exercises and things like that. It obviously depends on what your industry is. It might not work for your business type. So that one is all around learning, sharing high value, and also interacting with your audience as well. Now, another one could be pre-recorded lectures or presentations. So those ones we call evergreen, because it's something that you can keep using over and over without it losing any of its value. And you also don't have to invest time into it over and over as well. Now, another one you could do is podcast episodes. That could also be a great lead magnet as well, or audio files. You could create a video series or an online mini course, an online mini course. There's really endless possibilities in terms of video options. Now let's have a look at some lead magnets with text. Again, we've included an example here. So this here is the ultimate checklist for productive meetings that people can download, again, in exchange for their contact details. And as you can see here, they've opted for just the email address and the first name. So some options you have here in terms of lead magnets with text, guides, cheat sheets, checklists, ebooks, that kind of thing. Just a PDF that people can download very easily. Another extra tip would be if you do have a blog already on your website, you can repurpose some of the content on your blog into an online ebook or a guide or a checklist or whatever it may be. And then lastly, some other formats of lead magnets. For example, free consultations. We offer a free website audit, for example, where we go through the business's whole website and we put together a detailed report that is specifically tailored towards that website and that business. It's extremely high value. And then we also discuss the outcomes and the findings from that with the business owner as well. So that's one type of consultation that we're offering for free. We also do something similar, but more focused towards digital marketing and how the website is working currently with the digital marketing efforts and what could be done to improve. You could also offer a free trial, for example. Again, this depends entirely on your business and what you are selling, but it might be an option for you, just to give people a little bit of a sneak peek into what you're offering. And then again, you could also do special offers. So coupon codes and discount codes. This works especially well for e-commerce. So you might, if you are in the e-commerce, coupon codes and discount codes are a great way to get people's email addresses and have them sign up for your mailing list as well. Here's another type of lead magnet that is, again, an evergreen type of content. This business here is offering financial worksheets and calculators. So again, this is a fantastic way to get people's email addresses and contact information by also providing a very high value tool that they can action instantly. Now, when it comes to promoting your lead magnets online, there's obviously a lot of different ways that you could do that. So we're going to look at promoting it on your website and different ways to do so on social media and what other channels you might also be able to promote them as well. So on your website, there's so many different ways that you could offer and showcase your lead magnet. You could have a dedicated landing page. For example, if you have an ebook, you could have a dedicated landing page just for that ebook with information about what's inside. Obviously, you don't want to give away too much, but just give a little bit of a preview that gets people interested. So yeah, a dedicated landing page for your offer. You could also have a promotional banner. This maybe works a little bit better, for example, if there's a discount code or some sort of special promotion if you're in e-commerce. Then you could also have a call to action button on your homepage or a call to action form on your homepage. You could also add a call to action to the end of your blog posts as well with a free resource. It could also be on your services page if you are offering services, not products. And lastly, and this is probably the most popular, again, especially for e-commerce, but this can be utilized for anything. It really doesn't matter what industry you're in. It's just a pop-up with a call to action and the option to download something or receive something of value. As you can see here on the right, this pop-up offers a 20% discount in exchange for the email. Now on social media, again, there's many different ways that you can feature your lead magnets. One of them would be to put it into the link in your bio. If you're not already using a tool that allows you to put several links into your bio on social media, I highly recommend that you do so. There's multiple different ones that you could be using. Linktree is one of them. There's a paid and a free version, but the free version does a lot already, so you don't necessarily need the paid version. I believe there's also one called Link Pop, which is Shopify's version of this link tool, but there's many more. All of them have free versions that do the job just fine. So I would recommend you get one of those just so you can offer several links in your bio. And that way you can have the link to your website, but also to your free offer as well. Oh, and you could obviously also link to other things, so your blogs, blog posts, any other, things that you want to draw attention to. If there's a special product that you're wanting people to go to at the moment, or a special promotion, again, you could link that as well. Then the obvious one, running ads, obviously, that would be the main way to get the word out and promote your lead magnet. And as I mentioned earlier, this might be a better way to approach things, especially if your product is very high commitment from a financial perspective. If your customers need, a few more touch points with you before purchasing. If your product is is a low financial commitment, then that might be a little bit different. But generally speaking, customers need at least 3 to 4 touch points with you and your business before they even are ready to purchase. So starting it off strong with a lead magnet that provides high value through an ad is a great way to do that. Then obviously you could just post about it organically on your social media, and you could also, and I really like this idea, add it as the cover photo on your Facebook page as well. Now, there's a few other ways to promote your lead magnet. One of my favorites is QR codes. I think QR codes have had such a comeback as a result of COVID and COVID tracing. So using QR codes, and we've actually done a webinar on QR codes and how to utilize them within your business not too long ago. So you'll be able to find that in our webinar library if you'd like to go back and watch it. But QR codes are a great way to also promote your lead magnets as well. Now, then again, you could promote them at events if you want to offer, an instant giveaway or something that is only available to the attendees of the event. And you could also add it to your email signature as well. Here's another example. So this again is offering a free service. This is almost like a quiz type that people can take to see the best supplements recommended for them by this brand. It's oftentimes a good idea to gamify these lead magnets as well. So if you can offer a quiz or something that is a little bit more fun to do, that's also a really great idea to make it as engaging as you possibly can. Okay, and I'm just going to have a quick look through the comments if we've gotten any questions in so far. If you haven't sent your question in, please do so now, and we'll go through them in a moment during our Q&A session. Just a quick reminder, if you haven't signed up to our free online strategy session with one of our digital business strategists, then you can do so now. The offer should still be up on the screen. If you're having issues seeing that, then please let us know. And finally, we will share the link to our free ebook with you now. Inge's going to share the link in the chat, so feel free to go and download that now. Okay, and now we will be going into any questions. I'm just going to have another look through the chat, but I don't think we've gotten any questions through so far. So we're just going to start off with a couple that we just get frequently asked when it comes to lead magnets.
Yeah. So the first question we have is, how do I get people to download my lead magnet?
Yeah, so again, it's not enough to just create a lead magnet and then have it sit on your website and not do anything about it. I've just gone through, so many different ways that you could promote your lead magnet and different places you could put it. And it might feel a little bit overwhelming for you at first. and you might try some things and it won't work. But what's the most important is to think about, where does your target audience and your ideal customer spend their time? Where do they spend their time online or even in real life? So think about that, and then once you figured out that, you can think about where you want to promote and put your lead magnet.
Second question we have is, what content should I add to my lead magnet?
Yeah, so again, that really depends on your business and your industry that you're in. But whatever the content is and whatever the format is, the most important thing is that it is high value for your potential customer. So it could be in video format, it could be a webinar, it could be an ebook. It just depends on your industry. And also think about, what does your ideal customer, what format does your ideal customer prefer? If they, for example, work full time, they're not going to have time to join a webinar at 10 a.m. So that's something to consider as well with the format, is what format does your customer prefer? Do they have a lot of time on their hands? Then maybe a webinar would be better, because they'll be able to join. Or if they are business owners, then they wouldn't have set 9 to 5 working hours and might also be able to join a webinar. But if they are working full time, or have a busy family life, then maybe a quick cheat sheet might be better for them, or a quick 2-minute video that you could share with them. So again, it just depends on your target audience and where they spend their time and what their preferred format is.
And I'm just checking to see if we have any questions yet. So no, so I'll make this the last one. What tools are available that I can use to design a lead magnet?
So there's many great tools. If you would like to create a lead magnet that is in written form, one tool that I highly recommend is Canva. I've mentioned Canva many times before during our webinars, and we actually have a webinar coming up, not the next one, but the one after, where I will be going through Canva and showing a detailed tutorial on how to use Canva to create content for your business, whether that's social media content or even a lead magnet. There's endless possibilities within Canva, and I highly recommend it as a tool to create lead magnets as well. You'll be able to view different templates to use as a starting point, and then modify it so it works for your business with your business colors, your logo, and so on. So Canva is a really great tool, but there's many other tools that you could use for inspiration as well. And there's lots of really good copywriting tools as well to help you, like AI copywriting tool. One is called Copy AI, and it's a really good tool just to give you kind of a starting point. If you have a topic you would like to talk about, but you're not too sure how to go from there, that might be a great place for you to start.
Cool. So
Sue is just saying she's not able to see the ebook link. We posted it in twice, so I'm not sure why you wouldn't be able to see it, but if you could send through your email address, and then we'll send it to you by email. You are able to send that just to us if you'd not like to share it with everyone else in the chat. Just down the bottom, you have the option to everybody or just to us, so you can send that just to us. Okay, so if there's not any questions, then we have reached the end of our webinar. Sue, send us your email, please, so we can share that with you. And otherwise, as I have mentioned earlier, we have a really exciting webinar coming up, which is this one here.
Yeah. So on August 10th, we'll be talking about how to increase your revenue with email marketing. We'll be walking through some ideas for email newsletter content, some best tips for best practice, and we'll be walking through the stages of the email marketing funnel. And anything else? No. Now, August 10th is a few weeks away, so if you want to, please visit our webinar library in the meantime for additional resources and all our past webinars. Yeah. this is the end of the webinar today. Thank you, Hannah, for joining us and walking us through all this information. I'm sure everyone will walk away with new ideas for what to do with their business for lead magnets. And thank you all of you for joining us today and taking the time to learn with us. So we hope to see you again on August 10th. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Bye.
Bye.